Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of CJ Discovery. Finally! I am so sorry it's been so long since we've done an episode, and I cannot promise that we are not sporadic at this point. Since the last time we filmed, we moved, which was expected, and because of our living situation before, a lot of our stuff was in storage because we were sharing a place, which means that we had to unbox everything and kind of go through it and clean the stuff off just from sitting in storage. And it was a lot more work than we originally anticipated. Little 11-year-old boy is not crazy about sitting inside on a video camera in the middle of summer. Yes?
Yes, because I want to play.
Also, since the last time we vlogged, I went back to work full time, and that schedule is just kind of crazy, and we're kind of getting in the swing of it. And so like I said before, this channel is for fun, and since we were just kind of stressed out, it did kind of take a back seat. But we are looking forward to doing some more videos, and we do have one for you today. So we've seen this one for a while, and we decided to go ahead and grab it. It is the Slushy Magic Max. It's an as seen on TV type of product. It's supposed to, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, making a slushie out of any drink. Any's kind of a misnomer because I got in here to grab out, there were these things that you have to put in the freezer. I've already frozen them, and I grabbed the instructions out inside. The any drink is definitely not any drink. It specifically says you cannot use diet drinks or unsweetened drinks. So you can use carbonated drinks. You just have to be more careful about how you shake it. There's instructions for that in here. But you could use Coke, but you couldn't use Diet Coke, or you could use Sprite, but you couldn't use Diet Sprite, that sort of thing. That did create a kind of a predicament for us because I don't actually have a lot of sweetened drinks in the house. I do a lot of diet drinks, and his drinks don't tend to have a lot of extra sugar in them. Every once in a while he gets a little Sprite, but he's actually out of that right now.
Yes.
So we are going to attempt this with apple juice today and see how that does, since it does have natural sugars in it. We actually purchased this at Kohl's, but I've seen it a whole bunch of other places. We saw it and we decided while we were out shopping that we would go ahead and make a video from it. So we went ahead and grabbed it. It was $12.95 there. I've seen a range of prices. I know Walmart carries it and things like that. What you get is this just actually slides out. This is your slushy container. This lid screws off. There are instructions inside and a little like warning before use type of thing. This is your little spoon that you have to assemble, and then inside of here is the frozen cubes, which I will get in a moment and show you. Okay, so it gives you this little sheet of instructions. It's kind of just a before use and how to do it, mostly recommending that you wash it out, that you assemble the little spoon straw, and that you stick the cubes in the freezer. It does tell you that the cubes never freeze solid. Again, I'll show those to you in a moment. Then there's this bigger instruction guide that actually has a lot of the same things again, but it has some ideas for some types of drinks that you can make by like mixing things. For instance, it recommends, let's see, using pineapple juice, grapefruit juice, and coconut cream to make a tropical island slushie, or using lemonade and a lemon lime soda.
I would play that.
And while he's being goofy, this is the spoon straw here that it talks about assembling. Obviously not very difficult. We're just going to push it in there, and now you have a spoon straw. The lid has a hole on it. The hole, according to the instructions, is specifically for like when you're using carbonated drinks, so that you can put your finger over it when you shake, and then you lift your finger up to let a little of the air out, the pressure out, and then you can put your finger back over it and shake. It's a way so that the pressure doesn't build up and it doesn't everywhere, which it would do. The drawback of this is going to be that we get one shot at it, and then you're going to have to refreeze the cubes, and you'll have to have one for each kid and that sort of thing. So this is only going to give you one drink. I don't think you're going to be able to dump it and redo it after you do it one time, but we'll see from here. Okay, so I followed the instructions and I rinsed my cup out with warm soapy water, and I went and got my cubes out of the freezer. Here, you can feel one. It does say that they will not freeze solid. that they'll be semi-soft. I can tell you it's still pretty solid, just a little crunchy, so I don't know if ours freezed it more than it should. There are 3 of them. The thing I disliked about them is I don't really like when you have to put stuff like this down in your drink, because I don't know exactly what's inside of here, and on the off chance that it starts to leak or something like that, it's going to leak right into my drink. I don't like that idea. So I wish there was some way around that. However, all you're supposed to do is put these in here. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to pour our drink. There is a fill line here on the side of the cup, and you are not supposed to fill your juice past there. You want to hold it while we fill it?
Yes. Stop.
Okay, so now the instructions say that we are supposed to screw on the lid and let it sit for about a minute. And here it sits for a minute. Ooh, wow, get out of my head. I was totally going to start singing the Jeopardy song. Okay. We still need 15 more seconds. Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Alright, now it's been a minute. So now there is this hole here, so you have to put your finger over the hole and shake it for another 1 to 2 minutes. So you are supposed to shake this for 1 to 2 minutes until it is slushify. It hasn't been a minute yet. Would you like me to shake some? Kind of sound like it might be maybe a little more slushy than it was before. It's really hard to talk when you're shaking. Okay, we are right at the 2-minute mark here. So I can tell you that there are some crystals in here. I don't know how well this did, how slushy it is. Let's see.
Do we take off?
Let's see the spoon. Well, it is definitely, I mean, let's do a close-up. So, we definitely have some really cool slushy action that has happened here. It is definitely, I mean, look at, oh, we need focus. But look at that. Look how slushy it is.
I can see this.
So now we need the real thing here. We gotta taste test it. So now for the fun part is the taste testing of it, and I'm gonna pull out this top cube. It does say to kind of, if you want to get them another drink quickly, you're gonna need to just go ahead and refreeze these quickly. And wow, it really is a slushy down in here. I mean, it's, maybe it would be more so if it was a sugary drink, but just with the apple juice, it is pretty slushy. Now, here's the thing that I already see. When I pull out all these cubes, I am left with, it is about to here on the drink, is about where we're at here. So that is a drawback to me because that's not very much drink. But here we go. Taste test. What's the taste test like? What? Does it taste like frozen apple juice? A 9?
Yes.
Do I need some? Well, I'm going to try the straw. Well, it tastes like apple juice with some ice in it.
Yep.
I feel like it's not
Slush.
It's not very slushy, even though it visually looks very slushy. Not a lot of texture to it. It almost tastes like I have some ice in my drink, maybe. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to work. I wanted to see, I noticed that it suggested possibly chocolate milk, and I remembered that I have some chocolate milk mix in the cabinet, so I went and made some chocolate milk. We put the freezer cubes back in the freezer for about an hour, so it may not work as well as it should because they didn't freeze totally solid again. And I want to see how well they do here. Okay, we're going to open this up here. It has been 2 minutes. I don't have a lot of hope for this, simply because the cubes didn't fully refreeze. Woo! I made foam. We have a foamy drink. We don't have, I'm not really surprised. We didn't wait long enough. At the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did get it kind of slushy down the bottom. It is probably just that, these were not fully frozen back, which I'm not surprised.
But it says make slushies in seconds.
Make slushy in seconds. But it is 180 seconds. I mean, I guess, right?
Yeah. But that's not that long.
Okay, I do want to say a couple things before I finish this video. It does mention in here that if the cubes were to tear open or something, you should not use them. However, it does say further down that what is in them is salt and water. So I'm guessing that means that it probably isn't toxic, but it does say if it starts to tear, don't use it at all. It also mentions when we first got the cubes and we opened it up, they were a little moist, and I was worried at first that it might have a leak. And it does say in the instructions that it's normal because of packaging for them to get a little condensation on them, so they can have a little moisture on them like that. So it was not actually leaking, it was condensation. Obviously, you saw from the apple juice, this product does work. It's really kind of cool how quickly you turn it into a slushie. Some things I dislike about this were the hole in the top. I know that has to be there because of the carbonation. At the same time, I noticed that when he was shaking it, his finger kept popping off, and I imagine with littler kids that would actually be a problem, especially when they're doing this for 2 minutes because you know, 4, 5, and 6-year-old doing this type of stuff for that long. And it does say it's supposed to be for 3+ on here. So doing that for that long a time, I just imagine that some of it's going to spill. The other thing is, as I said, I don't like the cubes actually being down in my drink. That's just a me thing. Also, the simple fact is these cubes take 6 hours to freeze. I tried to stick them back in real quick and freeze them for another hour to try to do a second slushie, and that really doesn't turn out well. So you are going to have to get a little bit of slushie and then refreeze it, and 6 hours later you're just not going to be able to do this a whole lot or make a lot of slushie. Not necessarily a big deal. You might not want the kids to have a whole big giant thing of slushie, but the pictures show these nice full glasses of slushies, and it's just not that way. Still, all in all, I think this is kind of a cute little gimmicky thing here to do, and it's an interesting novelty item. What did you think?
I think it was a little too when I was trying to milk one, I didn't really like it. I don't know why, because normally I like chocolate milk.
But it wasn't slushy, so that's not a good way to count that. I think if we had refroze them, it would be slushy.
Yeah. But I don't think I would like a chocolate slushy.
Chocolate milk slushy?
Yeah.
I bite. What about things like if we did a Sprite slushy?
That might
Yeah, and it works, right?
Yeah. Because we tried with applesauce.
Oh, we did try with applesauce.
I mean, juice.
So all in all, we enjoyed this. It was fun to do, and I think that we will probably use some other drinks in it. If you have multiple kids, you're going to want to have one for each because it's not going to provide very much. You can't really split it in two very well, maybe for really little kids. Also, I will tell you that I think that a lot of littler kids are going to want the adult doing the 2 minutes worth of shaking because it just, I mean, I didn't even like doing it for 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Me either.
But it is still fun to do for the novelty item that it is, and it does work. It does do what it say it's going to do. It does turn the drink into a slushie. Thank you for joining us on this episode of CJ Discovery. Hopefully we will have some more videos in the future. Thank you for sticking with us in the meantime. If you like this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. Also, we'd love it if you would subscribe. We try to put these videos out regularly, semi-regularly, a lot more regularly than we've been putting them out, honestly.
Yes.
You also might start seeing some vlogs from me. Who knows? We don't know what's going on. Do we know what's going on?
We don't know
I don't
what's
think
going
you
on
even
in
know
the
what's going
future.
on. We don't know what's going on in the future. You sounded like a robot.
Well, there could be robots
Okay.
in the future. But anyways.
Anyway, on that note, go forth and discover. Bye.
Bye.
much slushy.